I am in an underground parking and I'm here for a specific reason. Now, this is something I haven't done and I should have a long, long time ago. So without any further ado, I'm even getting tongue-tied thinking about it. Without any further ado, this is today's video. We are reviewing Yamaha's R1.
This has been long overdue, and I've got to say, the R1 is something I should have reviewed a very long time ago. Straight off, just as I left, you can tell that this bike is just designed to go fast. I mean, when you look at it, when you sit on it, the seating position and everything is just so aggressive, it just wants to go. And it's got a quick shift. Now, the last time I used a quick shift, folks, was on my old Aprilia, and I've got to say, I miss it. Oh God, do I miss it. I mean, there was just something awesome about being able to shift without using your hand. And it allows me to talk to you guys and tell you stuff without having to get onto that clutch all the time. I have to tell you guys that the last time I rode an R1 was a very long time ago. It was definitely not the new generation, for sure. It's definitely a step up. I would say it's more than a few steps up, because compared to the old one, which was fantastic anyway, this just feels a whole lot better. The handling is sublime. I mean, I just move, or I think about moving, and this bike moves. No wonder Toprak is able to run circles around the other guys in World Superbike. Look at this thing. This TFT dash as well is bright enough. It's all in white with no extra colors or anything to confuse you. Or very simple, straightforward. A ton of information. I mean, everything from the amount of G going into the back, into the front. You can see the little G meter here. See? The accelerometer, it shows you when you accelerate how the weight moves to the back of the bike, and then when you brake it moves to the front. So pretty interesting stuff. Now, unfortunately, the roads are a little full, because I would really like to show you how this bike moves, and it's a little hard to do that with traffic. But in the meantime, I can tell you that the riding position was designed for the track and not for long commutes and to ride cross country. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't advise it. The suspension is stiff, it is designed for the track, and I'm sure in the corners it sticks like glue. But when you're cruising down a highway, it's not very comfortable. But then that wasn't the reason why they developed this bike in the first place. They didn't design it to be comfortable. It was designed to go freakishly fast. I've got to tell you guys, the handling, oh my God, I am loving the handling of this bike. It is just like butter. Aerodynamics are so good, you do not feel the speed of this bike. you just have no idea how fast you go, or how fast this bike can get up to speed. I mean, it literally takes a flick of the throttle, and in no time at all, you are in triple digits. I mean, you really have to keep an eye on your speedo. I mean, you really have to keep an eye on your speedo. The way this thing accelerates is... I can't help but smile. I mean, I know I've been riding my Z for a really long time, and that is domesticated. Highly, highly domesticated. It is comfortable. The acceleration is smooth. It has, no bad habits. It takes its time to get anywhere. This, on the other hand, is a beast. And even with the stock exhaust, I am loving how this thing sounds. And the one thing I have to keep telling myself is that on this bike, now, first of all, this bike belongs to Fuad, who is one of the best photographers that I know. And he just picked this thing up and has been kind enough and generous enough to, well, it started last night really, and we were having dinner, and he says, "Hey man, you've got to do a review of the R1." And I said, I've never done a review of an R1, and I really should have a long time ago, because I do love this bike. So he just gave me the keys and said, "Hey, you guys are going for a ride tomorrow, just take the bike." And that's where we are. Now, that being said, I have to tell you guys that all my bikes, my track bike, the Z, everything, is, well, in GP shift. The gears are in GP shift. And this one isn't, because this is Fuad's bike, so it's in normal mode. And I have to keep telling myself, one down, rest up. One down, rest up. One down, rest up. Because I'm used to the one up, rest down thing. So, now to be fair, it's been a while since I've ridden 1,000. And I'm used to the acceleration of my Z900, which, like I said earlier, is very tame. However, once in a while, when I get a chance to use this, oh boy, is it fun. This bike gets hot. Yeah. I guess, considering its racing pedigree, the cooling systems are a little smaller than normal, so it does tend to run a little hot. But it's okay, because all that speed and handling and everything else more than makes up for it, and not to mention killer looks as well.
So guys, that's the end of part one. Part one of the riding review of the stock R1. Because as soon as the modifications are going to be done, so I'll try and show you those as it's happening, which will be part two, and then we'll show you part three of when it's done. So thanks for watching. As always, ride safe, and I'll see you on the road.